And Will Elder also came out of Mad.
Exactly.
So
Yes.
some of the most famous comic book artists had their time. Wally Wood, and the name I was trying to remember before was Marie Severin, actually, a wonderful artist from the.
Oh, okay. From the early days of
Yeah.
Mad, back when they were doing that elaborate artwork. Yeah, that was even before me.
Well, 30. How many years?
I sold him my first piece in 1961, and it ran in 1962. So I've been sending them stuff for 32 years, but now I've been in every single issue for 26 consecutive years.
But you came
sick of it.
10 years after it started.
I know. I used to say to Gaines, I don't know how you were able to hold this thing together till I got here.
They did very well.
I know. What are you kidding?
Has anybody taken offense?
You know, my favorite story was I did the takeoff on Star Wars, which Mort Drucker drew. And I got a letter from Lucas's attorney saying that this was gross copyright infringement, that my satire ran 6 pages, which was 17% of the magazine, and they wanted 17% of the profits. They wanted the original artwork. What they didn't know was that a week earlier, both Mort Drucker and I had gotten personal letters from George Lucas saying, I love your satire. I wish there were Academy Awards for satire. You would both get them. So we took a page from Bill's book, and that was to scribble in the margins of the lawyer's letter. We just said, gee, George liked it. And then, of course, we just sent him a Xerox of Lucas's letter, and we never heard from them again.
A lot of people like to be made fun of. In fact, I understand that every president has a Herb Block cartoon parodying something that he did at one point or another. But there have to be some thin-skinned people out there, and at times you get pretty nasty.
You know, I am astounded. There is a man on Nickelodeon. His name is Mark Summers, and he was hosting a kid show called Double Dare. It was very popular, and I did a takeoff on it. And I met him, and he said, oh, you know, I understand you're doing a takeoff on my show. Would you send me a copy as soon as you get it? So I looked at it, and I was very mean to this man, you know. And I figured, well, he's going to buy it at the newsstand anyway if I don't send it to him. So I sent it to him, and a week later, I get a phone call from him, and he goes, oh, is it okay to show this on the air? And I go, Mark, you have a... I said, I was so mean to you. And he goes, I don't care. I'm in Mad Magazine.
Because as a kid, he read Mad. This was his dream.
And he said, is there any way I can get on the letters page? I said, well, why don't you come to the office with a pie? His big thing was pies. And I said, you know, you'll hit me with a pie, and we'll say that you were angry about the satire, and you'll be on the letters page. So no one's really hated it enough to come by and really punch us out.
In the last issue, which was the October-November issue of Mad, I guess that's the last issue.
Yeah. This one is just going. This one just went on sale.
The last one, the cover was the Clintstones.
Right.
Now, actually, you don't have a story in here called the Clintstones. You do make fun of Bill Clinton with a Bill Clinton songbook,
right,
and an MTV thing, and then you make fun of the movie, the Flintstones.
The Flintstones,
which
right,
was the piece you wrote.
Right.
So is this false advertising?
No, it's because there's actually the joke is all contained on the cover within the satire of the song. Mm-hmm. So that's why we decided that we wouldn't. That there was other Flintstone stuff in the issue.
But you also assume that your readers are aware of what the Clintons are all about.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We'll talk about anybody political. I mean, I used to throw the name Leona Helmsley in the back. If there was a thing with a hotel thing, there would be nothing. Let's put Leona Helmsley changing sheets in the background. We would never say, oh, well, you know, maybe a young child won't know who this is. We figure, well, they'll either not know or they might ask or...
Ask their parents. It'll be a reason to have a conversation about something.
Absolutely. Or the 10 people that get it or the 100 people that get it, they'll say, hey, this is an inside joke and I get it.
Over the years, I've heard a lot of comedians say that the problem for comedians is that the real world is so outrageous, it's impossible to make fun of it. I have a feeling you've never felt that way at Mad, and when I think of like the Tanya Harding, Nancy Kerrigan thing, O.J. Simpson, the Bobbits, and everything that you see on cable TV, You guys just have to pick and choose.
Well, there's a bit of a problem with Mad the magazine. We have a 4-month lead time. So we have to pick something that everybody's still going to be aware. You know, someone said, "Oh, you're going to do something about what Jesse Helms said the other day." In 4 months, they're going to remember sort of what he said, but it's not going to be a hot topic.
And you don't even know whether Jesse Helms will become the chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee or not. Something might happen, and then you're going to look like a jerk if you do a piece on him as the chairman of that committee.
You're absolutely right. So that's why we only satirize